Yeah. Well, friends, again, it's a welcome to the Seudat Hoda'ah that the Esperanza and the Gil prepared together, right? Honoring and giving thanks to Hashem for the refuah and the atzloche and broche of Gil after the terrible incident that he had, and the Baruch Hashem recovered, and he's here with us, and we've been having the Shiurim since all the time. I just want to mention something on this Parashat Vayeshev, that carries a tremendous meaning into what we're doing tonight, into what we're celebrating tonight. It really fits so well into the purpose of making this a beautiful Seudat Hoda'ah. Of course, we know the story of Yaacov Avinu, that his parents tell him on the end of Parashat Toldos that he has to go and take a wife, go to the house of Laban in Haran, and he goes, right, and then he has this vision of Sulam Mutzavort, of the famous ladder, right, that he sees climbing up all the way to heaven, right, and the Malachi Elokim Oilim Beyordim, and the angels of heaven, right, are going up and down, and he has this vision of things, of the future, of things that are going to be not only with himself, but all his descendancy, all of us, Klal Yisrael, what's going to happen in all the ages to come. And then finally, right, he reaches Haran, right, and he comes, and quite in a way similar as it was told to Parashat Toldos, when Eliezer was sent. There was Eliezer who went to look for a wife for Yitzchak. Here, Yaakov Avinu goes to look himself for a wife. And he sees Rachel. He asked about the family, so they told him about Laban. So they told him, there you have a Rachel, right, his daughter coming, right, and she's a shepherdess, whatever. She's a Roa, that son. She is the one taking care. There's a whole thing. Why is she? Why didn't have any boys? He had boys, right, Laban? What were they doing? Anyway, but let's say, why didn't Leah? Anyway, she was taking care of the sheep, right? And he goes over to her, right? And and this has many interpretations. We were talking, how can it be? He gives her a kiss, right? He knows it's his nephew. She was the daughter of Laban, right? And that was he was the brother of his wife, of his mother. So his niece, right? So he gives her a kiss, right? And then he starts crying. And then Rashi says he started crying because he came empty-handed. We're going to talk about this a little bit later. But then they get married and everything, and the story, how it all goes. And then Leah is the first one to have children, and she has the first Reuben. They named the children not in the name of somebody else, because they were the beginners of Klal Yisrael. So it wasn't today we give names on the name of somebody else. Very seldom people give a name on something, or something that occurred, something that happened. But she didn't. She gave the names on things of happenings, and the Reuben, right? The Shimon, Shema Hashem, and the Reuben, HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw her pains. And Levi, Apamilovani Ishi, my husband is going to be very happy. I gave him already 3 sons. And then came Yehudah. And Yehudah, she called him Yehudah. Why? She said, Apamoides Hashem. On this occasion, I'm going to give thanks to Hashem, right? And and comes from Loshen Yehudah, from Lehoidois, from thanking, right? I'm going to thank him, right, for the child that Rachel didn't have any children. She's the one that was giving birth every year to another child, right? And she gave him the name Yehudah. Apam Moides Hashem. We know how important Yehudah became. All the kings and the judges and the Sanhedrin all were descendants in a way from Yehudah, one way or another. he was the leader, he became the leader of the Jewish people, the Shevet Yehudah himself, as we know later on in the stories. Anyway, Yehudah is named Hapam Oides Hashem, which raises the question, wait a minute. She's saying, today, now, on this occasion, I'm going to give thanks to Hashem. Right? So our Chazal, the Gemara brings down, Rashi quotes it, that the Ad Shebo Leah, till Leah came and named the baby Yehudah, so there was never anybody who gave thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu like she did. Which is very surprising, very, very surprising. Well, what are you talking about? That she didn't give thanks to Hashem till now, she herself. Okay, she named the children different names, but I'm sure she thanked constantly Hashem for all the chasodim, for all the good things. And what Avraham Avinu never say thanks to Hashem? Could it be possible? Of course not. He thanked the Kodesh Baruch Hu constantly. And so did Yitzchak, and so did Sarah and Rivka. So he says now, and I'm sure all the Mauritians also say thank you to Hashem. So why is it that they say that she is the first one? She was the very first person in the world, right, to give thanks to Hashem. And to remember that, she called the baby Yehudah. What was so special? What happened now that didn't happen before? That there is a number of interpretations, number of answers, right? One of them deals with the fact that she already, apparently there was a tradition, or she knew, or she figured out that he's going to have, that the Yaacov, the husband, is going to have another 3 wives. So that means, right, that and there's going to be 12 Shvatim, 12 children. Apparently there was a tradition to that effect. So then she got already 3. Right, having one more, number 4, would be more than was expected. So for that, she thanked the Kodesh Baruch Hu. You're getting more than you share, right? So that she decided, Apam Oides Hashem. It's an answer, right? Apam Oides Hashem. But I don't think that's a truly, I mean, many times I'm sure Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov also, they all felt that on occasions HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave them far more than was expected. Right, so it's kind of a little bit the Apam Oides Hashem, right? Why some say, and there's a lot of truth into this, that naming Yehudah Apam Oides Hashem, right? There was something not into why she chose this particular baby as Yehudah, but if you're going to say thank you, right? You choose to name the baby with a thank you name, right? That's going to be a constant thing. Because how many times you call the baby every day? Yehudah, don't do this. Yehudah, get up. It's time to go to shul. Yehudah, time to go to sleep, right? And so constantly you're mentioning the name Yehudah, right? So constantly, even in the times when you put a kid, to make him right, so you're still mentioning the name of Hashem. You're thinking, yeah, that's nice. It's nice. The constancy of a person. Being moided to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that kind of something that she started, that it became important by there is something at the beginning of the parsha, right, that requires a little bit of understanding, right, into the effect of it says, right, that when he came and Yaakov saw Rachel, right? So he cried. He gave her a kiss and he cried. He cried because he came empty-handed. Why did he come empty-handed? I mean, I'm sure that Yitzchak was very wealthy, very well-to-do, right? And when he sent just like Avraham Avinu gave to Eliezer, gave to Yitzchak everything. So I'm pretty sure, right, that at that time Yitzchak gave he gave him a lot of wealth, Okay, he was in Shem Be'ever for 14 years meantime, according to what Rashi brings down Midrash. So I'm sure they had a bank or somewhere, put away the money meantime, the gold and whatever he was carrying, whatever he had, he put it away, right? So but then when he came, so Rashi explains, it's a Chazal, that when he was about to reach the when he was in the way, that was before the dream. So the Eliphaz, the grandson of Esau, was running after him, right? And because Esau wanted to kill him. He says, "They will come when I'll be able to. They won't bother so much." He was very careful with the feelings of Yitzchak and Rivka. Yitzchak more than Rivka. He loved Yitzchak, but when he's not there, I'm going to do something to him. So he decided to kill him. So he went after him, right? He didn't know, not Esau himself, but he sent Eliphaz to go after him. So he went, right, and he came to kill him, right, and somehow he was able to convince him, Yaacov Avinu, that he should take everything that he has, because he says, "What am I going to do?" Okay, so he convinced him, "You can't kill me. How are you going to do this? It's such a terrible thing." He tried he got all into conversations. He was able to convince him, right? And he said, "Okay, I won't, but what am I going to tell my father?" He was very makpid on kibbutz avoim. He told me to kill you, right? How am I going to tell you? He said, "Well, take everything that I have." And only choshev kemeis, and if a person is very poor, right, it's like he's dead, especially in the middle of nowhere, right? So it is practically as if he had killed him, right? So he convinced him and he let him go. Well, one of the questions is always asked on that one, not directly involved with this, but it says that Yaakov Avinu was very strong when it came to take the stone of the thing. He was able to do it all by himself, something that the shepherds couldn't do them by themselves. They had to get all the shepherds together. He was so strong, he took it. Rashi says, like somebody taking the stopper out of the bottle, right? He was able to uncover the well, right, and he gave all the sheep that were there. So he was physically very strong. So how come he just didn't take Eliphaz? Right, and he gave him a patch, and that's it. A good patch, in the right place, and that's it. He would have sent him on the, and that's it. Right, that would end the story. Right, if he was so strong. So one of the answers that they have, we mentioned the other day, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, the power of love, That the Orchos Tzadikim say that the strongest of all emotions in the world, human emotions, most powerful of all the human traits and things that define a human being, that empower him, right, to do things, is love, more than anything else, right? People will do so, but then he adds the Orchos Tzadikim. This is something that very few people have noticed, but I saw it. He has a whole list of the different loves. If you're familiar with his works, right? He's not the only one, Rabbi Najman. Many they mention that love is the strongest of all the human emotions and human attributes that make people, that empower people to do things, that create things. So but he says he adds a line, a very very interesting line. He says, after adding, love to the family, love to Hashem, of course, love to the family, love to the children, even love to what a person does, love to his belongings, to his wealth, love. Right? But then he adds, and there's love to do the wrong thing. Love to do the wrong thing. Oh, he throws so much light into this. You have to remember this, Orchos Tzadikim. Watch out for the human being who loves to do wrong, who loves to hate, who loves to torture people, who loves to see other people suffering. You watch out for that, because that's a person you won't defeat. If you remember how the Nazis they made a code, they made a thing of loving to do wrong and hurt other people. That's what you have to watch out. That's what he saw in Esau and Eliphaz. That's what he said when he saw that what he was standing for. That's going to be a hard one to defeat, very hard one to defeat, right? Because that's the nature of the beast. That's what it is. Very very powerful words, understanding how human nature actually works. Because we don't see it, but when somebody loves to do wrong, that's his thing. You have to watch out. When he gets a pleasure out of doing it. How do you call these people? They are what? There's a name for it.
Masochist.
But it's a mental condition, right?
Masochism.
I mean, people who don't see the wrong, They don't see it, they don't understand it. Sociopaths, yeah. But if they derive pleasure from doing it and they can't see anything wrong with it, you better watch out. Better watch out from people like that. It's a non-ending story. You can't reason with him. But he was able to reason with him. Somehow, Rashi explains why. Rashi says, because he learned by Yitzchok on the yeshiva of Shem Be'ever. Apparently, he would say, Esau probably also when there was a yeshiva where they were learning Torah. So he went and learned on that yeshiva, Eliphaz, right? And he was able to reason with him, right? And he let him stay alive. At least that much he took everything. Whatever he had, he took away, he had to give it to him. And he became poor and came without anything. They tell a story. Rabbi Galinsky, remember Rabbi Galinsky? Rabbi Yaacov Galinsky used to come to Toronto every year. A little guy, right? A very known Maggid, right? He died not long ago. I don't know what is it. Not long ago, 5 years or something like that. He used to come to Mexico every year. A few times he stayed by us. I remember Rabbi Yaakov came. And they used to come and speak by us. He was one of the biggest Maggidim, beautiful Maggid, beautiful stories. Anyway, he came and used to visit the Stipler. I think it was once in the hospital. So he came to visit him, and the Stipler asked him, hey, Yaakov, right, tell a good word, tell something, so he asked, he told him about this, about the, there was Parashat Vayeshev. So he told him about he may be being able to convince Yaakov, being able to convince Eliphaz, right, to not to kill him, right, just to because and just take his money, right, because he learned by Shem Be'ever Torah, so that had an influence. He says people don't realize. He told him that's Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky's word. They don't realize how important it is to learn in a yeshiva. You see, this fellow, right, was born Roitzeach. He was son of Esau. He was a born killer. He's like masochistic and totally devoid of any feelings, right? And but because he learned in a yeshiva, right, so now he's not into killing, right, but he's into just taking everything that you have. That's Yash's point. He said, why? Because there's always been an issue in every single yeshiva that we have. In schools also. And we had many shilas. He asked the rabbi, it's not an uncommon shilah. Actually, even in my sefer, in the first Shuvah sefer printed in Mexico, we had that shilah. What you do, it happens the whole time. You get a number of children in every class. Some are very good, some are excellent, some are even better, right? But some are not. Right, and no yeshiva wants to have these problem children with them. They don't. They don't want to have them. They give a bad name to the place. They bring down the standards, the levels of everything. They bother all the kids. You want to get rid of them. Yeah, but are you allowed to do it? Are you allowed to throw them out? Here you have, right? They told him, right, so he didn't kill Yaakov. Right? It was good enough, just the fact that he was there had enough ashpoe, enough thing, to so this melamed letalmid sheino chogun, brother, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't teach a talmid which is not proper. Not a simple thing, because the school will be responsible. If he does end up, because you send him away, he does end up killing people, who's responsible? The master of the school, the guy who sent him out. Now he becomes responsible. Why didn't you keep him? How did he stay in the yeshiva? Right? They would have had an ashpoe, would have had something, would have meant something, and maybe they tell a story from the Chofetz Chaim. On one occasion, right, came to Radin. They used to come, those days traveling was hard, there was a train station in Radin, right, but the train came only, I don't know, maybe once a day, but maybe once every 2 days, whatever. So this bocher came, right, he wanted to join the yeshiva, he showed up, and he wanted to show, so they took him to the Chofetz Chaim to check him out, to see, what kind of boy he is. Is he good? Is he no good? So he asked him, the guy was honest, right? And he said he came from this background. He was more from, in those days in Russia, they already had the people who were more into they were already kind of the modern into a maskilim, they used to call them. So he came from a family of maskilim, right? more and more intellectual people who were not very much into Torah. He felt, the Chofetz Chaim felt he was wise. He realized, that this is not the kind of bocher that you want to have. You want to have in the yeshiva, not for running. He says he's going to set him up, in another place, in another way. He had the connections to help him out. That's what he's supposed to do. If you don't want him in the yeshiva, you have to give him somewhere else. He did. But meantime, he had to stay till the next day, right, overnight, till the transportation came for the next day. And the Chofetz Chaim, Belishum Oifen, he didn't want him to mix with the bochrim. He thought even mixing with them might be a bad influence. So he told me, you stay with me in the house. Stay with me in the house. He was a bocher, right? I don't know how old he was, 14, 15. Right, he was with him, and the Chofetz Chaim was very, very nice to him. Very nice to him. He did. He gave him his room. He gave him this. Gave him food. He covered him. He was tremendously. He was so spoiled. He was so over. From the how great, how friendly, how even though he felt terrible that he doesn't want to have him in the yeshiva, but he understood. He explained it to him, and he told him he's going to help him. Anyway, as it turns out to be, right, the Chofetz Chaim was right. Right, when he went back to university, whatever he was doing, right, and he didn't learn yeshiva, right, he didn't accept it, his parents were this, right, he became a total Chiloni, and he became a conservative, or, not even, he was a bit reformed, totally out of it, right, but then the story goes that later on when he retired, and he was already living in Miami. Somehow, right, he met also a talmid of the Chofetz Chaim who was able to bring him back. Right, somebody started telling stories of the Chofetz Chaim, and he remembered that night he spent with the Chofetz Chaim, how nice it was to him, and the whole thing hit him back, right, and he became about Shuvah, all about Shuvah. Just from that contact that he had on that occasion with the Chofetz Chaim, what an incredible thing, what it is, right? Even though he was so far away from Yiddishkeit and he became so out of it, Chofetz Chaim was right, he wasn't the material to be there, not in that yeshiva, and even though I tried to say it didn't help, but this helped. Just the fact that he was able to be that night in the house of the Chofetz Chaim and he accepted, you never know. You never know, that little bit, that little thing, that little contact that he had, that made such a tremendous difference, you never know. You see, I often see these people from Lubavitch putting on film, right, to people who are not from at all, right, and you wonder what they're doing, right, what's the point? It's pointless. Why are you putting a film to a guy who doesn't keep anything, he's not going to do anything? You never know. You really, really, truly never know. You invite somebody, for a Shabbos, for this, right? And you think, so what's it going to be, right? Is this person going to change? Is it going to mean anything? You never know. Every little thing counts. Every little mitzvah. It might not count as 100%. It might not count as a 50%. But if it counts as a little bit, they give a motion. Used to give the Rav of Antwerp, Rabbi, he mentioned he says he once had it in Torah. Two people from the diamond business. What was it in Torah, right? They came for they had a tiny, right? It was a seller, diamond seller, right, and his agent. Right, and they had a disagreement as to how much commission he was supposed to be taking. So what was the disagreement? It was disagreement on the commission. If the commission was 0.0005 or 0.006. So you read the story, you're thinking, what? That's like about 1,000%. So on that they disagree. Is that in Torah? You're going to get a prize with. They're going to come to a prize with. Yeah, that's what they. But then he saw what they were talking about. They were talking about the thing of diamonds that the guy sold that was worth about $95 million. Oh, this is a different story. Right? If you have the 100% of $1 million or 1,000, it's already something. Depends what you're dealing with. It might be a very small little mitzvah that a person can do. Very small as anything. Right? Gurnish mit gurnish. The guy is going to come, he's going to drink, he's going to make a brochim, he's going to do that. You might think, what's the difference it's going to make? You never know. Because Torah is so great. You're talking about here billions of wealth, of Torah wealth, of spiritual wealth. Take a little bit, you never know. You really never know. I can tell you experiences that I had. You want to hear something? I met somebody, right, from a yeshiva, that he came and he told me that he is learning in Lakewood. He became from, what are you talking about? He's already married over his children, you know. He was from Mexico. He used to come from time to shul, you know, but not at all. Man, most of the people that came to our shul, right, the Bet HaKnesset HaGadol, right, on occasions, on simchas, on whatever it was, they were not from people, right? They came driving, they came this. Why did they come to shul? Because either there was a wedding. We used to invite, to create an oil, and we used to invite the people who were getting married that week, Hosen Kale. They came with all the people. We gave them a Shabbos night. People who had a matzeve, also. People who had a levaya, also. You know, we got together. Sometimes we get up 500 people. just from you know, they felt, you know, it was good to come to shul. One of these people, right, came, right, and then he became this guy. I didn't even know he became, and then he went to yeshiva, he went to Lakewood, eventually. So one occasion, not long ago, when I met him, he disclosed, you know why I became, you know, a correct Yiddish guy? It was because of your children. He mentioned one of my children. He says, why? He has such a beautiful smile, right? And you saw Toyadik, right? When he was learning, he was a little kid, and he was so happy, right, learning. When he saw him learning, that made a difference. I told him, you see, just being happy, right? And the other guy saw you. The other guy was a boy. You were a kid, right? And that just made a difference. He says, that's me. That's what I need. I need something. Just the smile of a child learning Torah. Yes, sometimes can bring a person to become a Balshul. I need something. Go tell it to his grandchildren how the whole thing began. Began with the smile of a child. How important it is. So if it is important, every little bit we do, sometimes a person is thinking, what difference is it going to make? It's late, and I want to go to sleep, and I want to go to this. So I'm going to say another thing, I'm going to learn a little bit, right? I'm going to say Kapitul Tilim, or say this, or do a little bit more, one little bit more of a mitzvah. So you're thinking, what difference does it make? Will it make a difference? You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Every little thing, if it makes a difference for somebody else, it can make a difference for a person too. Oh yeah. So I'm going to make a bracha with more kavanah, with more intention. Will it make a difference? It does make a difference. Big difference. Big difference, you never know. You know, what should be the most common thing that a person should do in his life? The most common thing. Right? Of course we have mitzvahs that we can comply with every single minute, every single time of our lives we can comply with them. 6 mitzvahs like that. Of course the first one is emunah, and loving Hashem, right? Emunah, believing in Hashem, loving Hashem, right? Fearing Hashem. But the one that puts everything together more than anything else, and I mentioned it in other occasions, and totally can change the life of a person, is recognizing the good things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us. It's just seeing the right thing. You know, we are so trained, I don't know why, I guess it's in a way it's survival, you know, solving problems, right? And this is the way nature works. We're so trained to see the problem, to see the issue that we have to solve, and where the thing is. And that's where it hurts also. Right, so our mind is constantly, just by its own nature, by the own pattern of things, is trying to overcome or see the problem, see the things that hurt, and whatever. Sometimes it's to solve them, and sometimes even if we can't, we're just so into it that we never see the good things. We never see the good side of the coin, the good side of the thing. You know, we see the problem, but we don't see, right, that together with that problem, the society that is totally we avoid it. We don't even look at it, right? So person is he has to find out where is the opener, right? Where is the opener? The opener, he can't find the opener. He's a half an hour looking for the opener, and he's cursing out here, there, right, and all worried about the opener. He doesn't realize he has a soda to open. He doesn't, totally in the process of doing what he's doing, he totally forgets, wow, wait a minute, what are you worried about? You should be thanking Hashem for you have a soda, you have a house, you have a this, you have a this, you have so many things. Okay, you need an opener, you have to put it in proportion. Put the issue into the right thing. So what should a person be doing constantly? Looking at the good things in life, looking at what he has, and saying, thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. Hapam moedes Hashem, what it took Leah to have 3 children at first. Came the 4th one. And life was getting a little bit tough. Life wasn't easy. Had all the issues that were there. But he says, one thing this kid has taught me, Apam moedes Hashem. That not now. Now, and another minute more, now, and now, and now, and always. That's what it is. Apam moedes Hashem. A person should always say, thank you to Hashem. That's what it's all about. So he's saying, so what difference could it make? So I'm going to say thank you Hashem another time. I'm saying it so many times already. What difference? All the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. Thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu each time on everything that He gives us, seeing the right, positive things in life. The gifts that we have, focusing on them, seeing exactly what it's, proud, of course I have sold them, of course I sold them. Right, but seeing the perspective, right, of what it's doing, what could have been, what happens in the world, and seeing it in the right way, that is the right way, seeing what it comes with, seeing the world the way it is. It's a Apam moedes Hashem. That was the gift that Leah gave, and that's something, right? And it might be a small thing. Saying, so what difference can it make already when I say thank you Hashem again, once more? Will it make a difference? All the difference in the world. Rabbi said, that's so important to remember, especially now we find ourselves in a Seudat Hoda'ah. How we can be moide of everything, every little thing, she prepared it so beautiful. But being moide, thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all the gifts that we have constantly. That is the main source, the main thing that a person can do to be constant. In doing mitzvahs, teaching other people, teaching